With more than 100 years of history to its name, Germany's Ritter Sport has continued to gain its share of the market around the world. We catch up with UK MD Benedict Daniels about some of the key challenges faced by the business, including how it's coped with the pandemic over the past couple of years.
I think we've done well. In March 2020, we made the decision just before the government advice actually changed, but we made the decision to work from home in kind of mid-March. And I remember distinctly in the office asking people to get their laptop, get any essential files that they needed, and assume that they might be away for a period of weeks, maybe even a month. And some people in the team were kind of looking at me as though I was bonkers, quite frankly. They thought, well, it can't possibly be the case. And we worked from home for 18 months when nobody went back to the office for 18 months. And so to kind of adapt to that huge change wasn't without its challenges, but I have to pay credit to the team. They did a fantastic job. It's a total revolution in the way that we operated. We didn't do a single customer meeting face-to-face for 18 months. We didn't have a single internal meeting face-to-face for 18 months. We had no kind of engagement or well-being programs, initiatives face-to-face for 18 months. And so, we had to try to make sure that we looked after the team and looked after each other by, first of all, listening, asking questions, listening to what the team felt they needed to support their mental and physical well-being. And then to iterate that as well, not just to stand still on some of those initiatives that we put in place in kind of lockdown 1. We're kind of quite tired, quite frankly, by lockdown 2, and then they were quite tired by lockdown 3. So it was kind of a CI loop, really. You're always iterating and getting feedback from the team. But I think on the whole, we've done a good job.
Pleased to hear that's the case. And if you could sort of sum up just how challenging it has been for you in terms of actually driving the business forward and getting the momentum that you need.
It has been challenging, but what I would say about our retail partners, our customers, is whilst our business has been challenging, their business was much, much more challenging. And so I would just, laud praise on all our retail partners for keeping operations going, keeping the products on the shelf, keeping the sales going. It was an amazingly challenging period. And we can't thank them enough. Internally, we had our own challenges, but compared to their challenges, I think they did an amazing job.
Just looking at where the brand is now, it's grown a lot in the UK. Can you talk a bit about the experiences you've had seeing it progress?
Yeah, well, I was recruited into the business to set up an affiliate in 2014. And prior to that, the brand had been with various distributors over the years who'd done a great job in laying the foundations for us to build from. I think when we kind of inherited the business as an affiliate, we had a handful of customers, and today we've got more than 110, 115 live accounts. We've got distribution across every channel in the UK: cash and carry, wholesale, PFS, symbols, grocery malts, grocery convenience, D2C, Amazon. We've got a representation of Ritter Sport across every channel and touch point you can imagine. I think we've also increased our relevance via introducing formats tailored to the UK consumer and how they consume chocolate. The market is clearly segmented broadly into kind of 5 broad groups, and we now have a really credible presence in each of those 5 segments. And I think our marketing has done a fantastic job. We're kind of very envious of some of the budgets that our bigger competitors have, but I think we do punch above our weight with our execution. And finally, I think one of the core elements to our success is our value chain and our sustainability credentials in particular. Uniquely, we own and operate our own cocoa plantation. We have this unbelievable place in eastern Nicaragua called El Cacao. It's about 2,500 hectares in total. About half the area is permanently protected. It will never be cultivated, it will never be farmed. And the kind of wildlife and biodiversity that exists there is quite incredible. The other half, which is cultivated, is an incredible story, really. The business acquired the land in 2012, and since then they've kind of grown from seed 2 million cocoa plants, and they are now planted and indeed begin to be harvested. And they do that within an agroforestry methodology. So they try to have different diversity in the plants that they plant, levels of shade, insect diversity, to really ensure the most sustainable farm possible. I think they've built over 100 kilometers of roads, something like 75 bridges. There's more than 500 people work there on the farm. And when you present this kind of stuff to customers as part of our value chain, it's really physical and tangible, the reaction that you get, and they really buy into the brand and the business. So I think that's been a key differentiator for us as well, and a key driver of our success.
Indeed. And does it make you feel better about what you're doing when you know that there are a high level of ethics that go into what you're producing?
Yeah, I think you probably wouldn't work at Ritter if you didn't want to be part of that. And it is one of the reasons I love working here. It is the key differentiator that we have as a brand. And every member of the team passionately buys into that. One of the things we did only last Friday, we had a live call with our teammates at El Cacao in Nicaragua. So from Leeds to Nicaragua, and it was amazingly powerful, amazingly motivational, and quite emotional, I would say, for some people who've been with the business from day zero, where we didn't have an office, we didn't have any staff, we didn't have any customers, we didn't have any contracts. To be live streaming to our plantation in El Cacao was just fantastic, absolutely brilliant.
And just coming back to the roots of the business there itself, it's got a lot of heritage in Germany that perhaps not everyone's aware of. So can you talk to me a bit about what makes Ritter special in your eyes?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of elements, but to give you kind of a potted history, the business was started in 1912 in Stuttgart, and we have this long history associated with our iconic square. And our iconic square was actually the brainchild of Clara Ritter. And a lot of questions over the years from consumers and the trade, why Ritter Sport? And the two things go hand in hand. Clara observed that gentlemen carrying kind of this shaped chocolate, when they were putting it in their sports jacket pocket, the bar would break or wouldn't fit at all. And so she proposed that we should move from kind of a boring standard oblong shape into a more funky square to fit in a sports jacket pocket. And yeah, the rest is history. You know, we've been in a square shape since 1932, and we've also set precedents in the category since then as well. I believe it was in 1974 that we moved all our packaging from kind of traditional dark brown and black into a multicolored offering that's now evolved and that everybody associates with Ritter Sport today. So yeah, the business is in good shape now. We turn over approximately 500 million globally. We have 2 factories. The vast majority of our production still takes place in Waldenburg, which is a little village kind of south of Stuttgart, about 20 km south of Stuttgart. But we also recently acquired a secondary factory from Mars in Brighton, in Austria. And quite frankly, because of the growth, the performance of the group, including the UK, we needed more capacity. And there's another couple of strategic projects that led us to acquire Brighton as well. So I think the future looks really, really bold and bright for for Ritter? Yeah, I think the market has progressed significantly. As we talked about at the start of this, I think COVID has played a part in that, a significant part in that. And whilst growth rates have tailed off, they're still some of the fastest growing segments in grocery retail. And so it's still an attractive landscape. There's huge competition in amongst Block. In the 7 years that we've operated as an affiliate in the UK, I could reel off 10 to 15 competitor brands who've launched and not particularly made it. So I'm very proud that during this kind of very aggressive growth period, Ritter has just managed to grow every year, 7 years of consecutive growth. And yeah, really proud of what the team's delivered, both in the UK and in Germany.
Very good. And I think one of those aspects has been in the travel retail sector. How significant do you believe that's been?
Yeah, well, travel retail obviously highly impacted by COVID. And, we had a very, very successful travel retail business, recruited a new divisional head from JTI, who came into the business, I think in 2016, a guy called Jan Passel, who brought with him some great ideas, real dynamic guy, really positive, and put in place a great team and great plans. And unfortunately, the pandemic came along and really kind of decimated us, along with everybody else, I would say. The green shoots of recovery are starting to show in travel retail, I would say. And we recently attended the Cannes trade show, if you like to call it that. And there were some great reactions at Cannes to our new design and our new product range. And I think the future looks really, really good for the travel retail team, as hopefully the vaccination programs around the world take hold and people get back to traveling as they did pre-COVID.
Fantastic. And as a wider industry to be involved with, I know you said there are real challenges and it is a very competitive one, but would you say overall that it's one that you found satisfying and enjoyable to be part of?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a fantastic area to work in. No 2 days are the same. You can't possibly anticipate things like COVID. Not many people anticipated the way that Brexit kind of played out. So if you embrace change and you've kind of got the skin that's thick enough to cope with kind of knockbacks, of which there are many, and you like dynamism, a changing environment, kind of competition, but also teamwork and delivering on visions, then I think it's a great industry to work in.